Alright everyone, so we noticed that when the game ends and the wizard collapses into his hat, the ghost kind of sticks around and keeps pestering the wizard's hat, which isn't the best thing, really. It would be better if the ghost kind of went off and did a little celebratory dance. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to make the ghost stop bothering the hat and go off and do a celebration at the end of the game. And the celebration will just be this. It'll just kind of like fly off to the edge of the screen. It'll just kind of bounce off the corners, like so. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to go to the ghost code. This turns out to be quite tricky because of choices we've made in the past that we're going to have to kind of revisit a little bit. So if you go to this block here, ghost move, this is what's defining how the ghost moves. And so we're going to need to modify this. Let's just switch the game off. I'll give myself some more room. So what is all this doing here? Well, you've probably forgotten because it's not obvious what this code does. So let's read it carefully. It says, loop forever. You might have repeat until gap here. That's the same thing. I replaced it with a forever block because it's just a little bit more obvious. So repeat until forever. And then it's asked you to pick a random number between 1 and 10. If you pick one that's less than 10, so if you pick numbers 1 through 9, then point towards the wizard and move 5 steps. On the other hand, if you don't pick the 1 through 9, so you pick the 10th, then hover. And hover, you might remember, is where it does a little kind of circular movement, just so that it looks more ghost-like. So all this does basically is it decides at random that 9 times out of 10 it'll move towards the wizard, and the 10th time out of 10 it'll just do a little kind of hover dance. I'm going to try and clean this up a little bit to make it a bit more obvious what's going on here. So the first thing is I'm going to grab these and pull them out. And I'm going to define a new block. Move towards wizard. Now this isn't going to make any difference in what it does. It's just going to help me think about it. So now that's what it is to move towards the wizard. It points towards the wizard and it moves 5 steps. And then I'm going to put that in there. So this does the same thing as before. It's just a bit more obvious now, and I don't have to kind of read things and try and figure out what's going on. I can just see at a glance. If random 1 to 10, if you get the first 9, move towards the wizards, otherwise hover. I'm going to pull this out as well. And I'm going to call this randomly hover. So this just lets me know that this is just a way of getting it to randomly hover on it every 10th step. And now I'll just put that in there. And you see how simple this looks like now? It just says define ghost move. Well, forever, just randomly hover. Or if you maybe a better name for that would be hover or chase. So I'll edit it. Randomly hover or chase. Okay, it changes that in every place. So randomly hover or chase. So just keep randomly hovering or chasing forever. That's what it does. So now what do we want? We want it to only randomly hover or chase if the wizard is alive. So we'll put in an if then else. And then we want if the wizard is alive here. So if the health is above 0. So greater than. Stick with that. Go to variables and grab the health. Remember, health here means the wizard's health. Even though we're working on the ghost at the moment, health is a global variable that always refers to the wizard's health. So the ghost checks if the wizard's health is above 0. If it is, then it randomly hovers or chases. If it isn't, then it does something else. It celebrates, but we haven't defined what that is. So make a block. Celebrate. And it invites us to define it, but let's just put it in the code first. So now we know what this code is doing. Our ghost move looks like this. Forever do this. If the health is greater than 0, then randomly hover or chase. Otherwise, celebrate. Okay, now what is it to celebrate? Well, we said we just want it to kind of bounce around the screen at random. So Go to motion. Move 10 steps. And if on the edge, bounce. Now that's just one movement. That's not a whole celebration. But because this is on a repeat forever, it's going to keep running that. And so it'll keep moving in the same direction every time it gets run until it hits the edge, and then it's going to bounce. Hopefully that'll work. Let's check it out. So hit play and we'll let the wizard be defeated. Three, two, one, okay. And the ghost is doing the celebratory dance. So that appears to work. Thank you for listening, and if you find this video useful, please hit like and subscribe.